Traffic, Sierra Alpha Romeo is established early downwind, runway 21, touch and go. Yep. Admiral Traffic, Tango, Victor, final 21, touch and go.
Right.
Admiral Traffic, Alpha Alpha Charlie lining up to 1. Admiral Traffic, Hotel Juliet uniform is long finals, tail-off, pad 3. Sierra Alpha Romeo, short final to 1, touch go. Yep. Admiral Traffic, Alpha Alpha Charlie rolling to 1, vacating to the training area via Drury. Admiral Traffic, Juliet,
Yeah, SSP is on the green, SB 20 knots, 30 knots, 40 knots, 50 knots, rotate, and show for 70. Feet AGL, retract flaps, dorsal thing, undercarriage is fixed. And we clear to the right, clear straight ahead. Clear to the left.
Tango, central traffic curve, 1100, joining downwind.
Just coming over the tracks now.
Sierra Alpha Romeo, central traffic curve as well, climbing your 800 feet to the ridge on the circuit, looking for obstruction, Tango.
Alright, well if you like, you probably have to take your headset off to put the,
Sure.
put on, so I've got control.
You have control.
Alpha Traffic, last round Tango's, Waterworks, 1700, joining overhead 2-1.
That's going to push us down very slightly to 2,300 feet, so...
Alpha Traffic, Tango, Tango, final 2-1 grass, full stop, extra out, Tango side.
Okay.
Cool, I'll hand control to you in a moment. I'm just getting us down to 2-3 so that we're not on the cloud. Okie dokie, you have got control. So your goal for the moment is just to maintain altitude, maintain direction. So you're going to be scanning altimeter, AHDI, altimeter, AHDI, altimeter, AHDI, airspeed, balance.
Admiral Traffic, Hotel Juliet uniform is downwind, tail-off.
And the big thing is just to make control adjustments as smooth and deliberate as possible.
Yeah.
Admiral Traffic, last round Tango's overhead, staying on traffic side 2-1. Admiral Traffic, Sierra Alpha Romeo, finals 2-1, full stop.
Victor, downwind 21.
We're looking pretty good so far, so we'll just continue until we clear the hills at Bombay, and then we'll look at a descent.
Cool. Admiral traffic, Hotel Zulu uniform and final tail off pad 3.
Of course, it will get harder as soon as we get turbulence. The other thing as well when you're under the hood is if you're trying to maintain altitude and pitch changes alone don't seem to be helping, you can still make power adjustments just like you would normally to, you know, increase if you need to gain altitude or reduce if you feel like you're climbing, because sometimes you get a bit of a thermal or that sort of thing. And
downwind from the overhead 21.
And then even if the attitude's set correctly, you'll be climbing.
Admiral traffic, Alpha Alpha Charlie, Bombay Town, 2300, tracking VESA, changing VESA traffic. Admiral traffic, Tango Alpha Tango is crossing sealed. VESA traffic, Tango Alpha Golf, eastern edge, Pocono paddock, climbing through 2000, on track, Admiral. VESA traffic, Alpha Alpha Charlie, Bombay Town, 2300, tracking cable 8.
This traffic, JRT Mike 6310 is 3 to the north of the green sheds, vacating and changing Arbor.
And now we get the turbulence. We cross over the hills. Just keep those pitch adjustments really small.
Yep.
Okay, so in a moment we're going to look at the descent. So what you're going to do is you're going to set 2000 RPM.
Yep.
Lower the nose to probably about the 2.5 degree pitch line.
Yep.
In the middle there. And we're looking for 500 feet a minute, so we can make little adjustments afterwards to power and or pitch to control the descent at 500 feet per minute.
Okay.
To the north of Hotel Wind 2400, they're getting out more.
So we're looking at descent down to, what are we at the moment, 2-3. We'll descend down to 1,500 feet.
Okay. And 2,200 RPM?
2,000 RPM.
2,000 RPM.
Yeah.
Okay. And down to what altitude again?
Oh god, I've forgotten already. What did I say? 1,500. 1,500.
Okay. Okay.
And just remember to ask whether we're cleared to descend, which we are.
We descend?
Which we are.
descend?
Yep.
Cool.
So you try setting about 2.5 degrees pitch down, and let's see what that works out on the VSI. That actually looks like it's probably about right. And don't forget to adjust the trim as well, because that's something that people tend to forget when they're instrument flying.
Ah,
That just makes it a lot easier. Yeah, that works out quite well actually. Maybe actually, yeah. Seems like possibly slightly less than 2.5 degrees, slightly lower as 500 feet a minute. You happy with the VSI just over here? Yeah. Cool, so we're looking all good, so we'll just continue down to 1,500 and probably not a bad idea just to flick the carpet on as well if the power's dropped. And when you're ready to level off, it's just the same as when you level off visually, remembering to lead with power.
Yep.
So in general, when you're making corrections for turbulence that's, you know, bumping you up and down and that sort of thing,
Yep.
the pitch shouldn't ever really exceed much more than those 2.5 degree pitch lines, and certainly not more than the 5 degree pitch lines.
Yeah.
You're just trying to keep the excursions in pitch as, you know, as minimal as possible, because otherwise what tends to happen is you end up oscillating back and forth because you pitch up, but you pitch up a bit too much, so you start climbing, and then you pitch down, but you pitch down too much, and it gets worse and worse and worse, if you see what I mean. You just end up chasing it back and forth. But the descent there was all good, no problems there. So what we'll actually look at now is we'll actually look at a turn, just because we're in a position where it would make sense to turn before we end up in Hamilton. So what we'll do is we'll just do a 180 degree turn onto the left, it's around to the left. So one thing to do is note the reciprocal turn heading there.
Yep.
You can also bug it as well using that little turn bug. It's not a bad idea, since you've got it, you might as well use it.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is just a medium turn round to the left. So again, it's not really dramatically different to a visual medium turn, it's still just the same motions. You'll be rolling in and setting 30 degrees.
Yep.
With a slight amount of back pressure, just to set a very slightly higher pitch angle than what is set at the moment.
Yeah.
And obviously in balance. So whenever you're ready, we'll come round to the left.
Yeah, cool.
And we are clear to turn.
Oh, sorry.
So just watch them at the nose isn't dropping. And if it is, reduce the angle of bank a little bit as you bring the nose up, just so that you don't end up in a spiral descent.
Yep.
Just very small adjustment pitch. Cool, so you start to see how sensitive the artificial horizon is, and now this tiny little adjustment seems to make it pitch up and down a whole heap, which is so we'll maintain this altitude and this heading just for a moment, and then we'll look at a climb.
Cool.
Best traffic Alpha Alpha Charlie, cableway 1,500, shortly climbing 2,000, operating in the area.
Alright, so keeping the wings level, we'll climb up to 2,000 feet. Well, if you make it 2,200, just so that you're not having to level off immediately, we'll make it 2,200. So again, just like your normal climb, setting full power, pitching up about, I'd say 5 degrees.
Yep.
East, Mary Township, 2,000.
Okay, are we clear to climb?
We are, yeah. And we're looking for 70 knots, so 5 degrees is too low, and the speed just sort of stabilises at more than 70, we'll just have to raise the nose up a bit more. Yeah, try maybe about 7.5. Man, that's a high altitude, eh? Probably 10 even. And just watching the altitude so that when we get to 2,200 we can level off. Yeah. It seems like about 8 degrees is That's probably about right for 70 knots. Good. Okay, so we'll look at another turn. This time we're going to go to the right. Yeah. And we'll just do another 180 degree turn.
Okay, are we clear to turn?
We are clear to turn to the right, yep.
Clear to the right-hand turn?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, right-hand turn, yep. Cool, so setting 30 degrees. Keeping an eye on the altimeter and the AH. Watch the bank angle. And just keeping that pitch dot close to that white line to maintain altitude. This is looking pretty good now.
There's traffic hang up uniform, overhead the field, tracking town correction, hang up uniforms overhead the field and off the seat and vacating town hall.
Cool, okay, that was good. That was a lot better. Just watch the angle of bank initially, we just rolled in a bit steeply, but then you fixed it and then it was actually really good from that point onwards, so awesome.
There's traffic Alpha Charlie 1 northwest to the airfield 2200 operating in the area.
Okay, so we'll look at another left turn through 180. Yep. And I've got that aeroplane in sight, he's just spotted us and he's turning away.
I wouldn't know. That's about there. So left turn you say?
Left turn, 180 degrees.
Are we cleared left?
Yes.
Cool.
Just watch the pitch.
Yeah.
Looking a little low. Good. Out of balance there. There we go. Good. So that was a lot better, just a bit out of balance on rollout. So I'll just maintain the setting and altitude for a moment or two.
Cool.
Okay, and the next thing we'll look at is a descending turn.
Yep.
So we're going to put two things together, but one at a time. So what we'll do is we'll set the aeroplane up in a descent to begin with, just a cruise descent like before at 2000 RPM. Then we'll roll into 15 degrees angle of bank. So we'll go around to the left. So what we'll do is I'll get you just to set us up in a powered descent first, a cruise descent rather.
Okay, so 2000.
Yep.
And are we cleared to descend?
We are cleared to descend, yep. And I'll just let you know when to level off with this one. And when you've got about 500 feet per minute, I'll get you just to roll in 15 degrees angle of bank to the left and maintain 15 degrees angle of bank and a 500 foot per minute rate of descent.
Are we cleared to turn left?
We are, yep. Remembering that as you roll in, you'll just need a very tiny back pressure adjustment to maintain 500 feet, otherwise the rate of descent will increase slightly, but this is looking good.
Yep.
And I'll get you just to keep turning and keep descending, and then what we'll do is we'll level out to wings level, and then we'll go back to cruise straight and level, but just keep coming around for a little bit longer. So what I want you to do is set straight level now.
Okay.
Just watching that balance again. Very good, just making sure the wings are level now as well. Cool. Okay, we'll maintain this heading for a moment or two, and then we'll look at a climbing turn. Okay, this time what I'm going to get you to do is a climbing turn to the right, and once again I'll tell you when to level, when to go back to straight level. And it's the same again, set us up in the climb first, and then roll on 15 degrees angle of being, so you can start that when you're ready.
Okay, are we clear to climb?
Yes. And yeah, seems like about 8 degrees is about the right sort of pitch. And then when you roll in, you'll just have to reduce it slightly.
Yeah. And we're rolling to the right of it?
Affirm.
And we're clear to the right?
Yep. Straight level, cruise. Cool, okay, that was good. Alright, so I'll get you to turn onto a heading of 300 degrees. Maintain this altitude.
Are we clear to turn right?
Yes we are, yeah. And we're just heading back towards Hanua now, and I'll get you once we're heading out this way. You can how long have we been?
Movement traffic, Lily Brosky Charlie, Cessna 206, wiring 2500, Fort Quarry Lake and Hotel.
Okay, such not applicable, ambulance checked. Fuel, we've got sufficient 1 hour. CI with the compass.
Best traffic Alpha Alpha Charlie 3 East, Great Shed 2200, tracking Ararimo.
And he's using the green.
Okay, I've got control, you can take your hood off.
You have control.
So we've just got Hotel Duvan just out there. Yep. Hanua pretty much straight ahead at the moment, and then you can be Rain Toto and so forth over there.
Correct.
So you have control.
Control.
Radios and everything are all yours now as well. We'll just head back to Ardmore.
Ardmore. And changing Ardmore traffic.
Ardmore, don't forget to have a listen to the A1, just in case there's been like a runway change or that sort of thing. Quite often the QNH will change.
QNH 1023, caution Birdsong Airport. Ardmore Unicom is on launch. Runway 21. Current time is 0030 UTC. Operational information issued at 185 AM UTC. Simultaneous parallel ups not permitted. Aircraft landing on Grand Runway. Please vacate to the south side onto Yankee. Surface wind 210 degrees magnetic 11 knots. Temperature 20. 2.13. QNH 1023. Caution Birdsong Airport.
Hotel Victor Oscar, Unicom, reading 5. Copy 5.
Our traffic takeoff uniform, final 21, full stop.
Yeah, I've got the final traffic in sight.
Yep, so do I. One downwind just passing under us.
Yep. Yep, got him in sight.
More traffic Hotel correction, and the Kilo Charlie is 2.5 miles out to the northeast, west of 1,200, joining via Brockby. More traffic up Alpha Charlie, descending non-traffic side 2-1.
More traffic, Scout Tango Mike, turning final runway 20.
More traffic, Alpha Charlie turning downwind from the non-traffic side 2-1.
Brakes on the coach, that's sufficient for rich fuel, gentlemen. Fuel is sufficient for going up 52. Engine house is secure.
Double traffic.
Now it's all fine.
Johnny, along final, the takeoff, straight on orders. Kilo Charlie's final auto detection, paired 1. Traffic Extra Tango, rolling 2-1, vacating train.
copy, kilo traffic and start.
Alpha traffic off, Alpha Charlie, final 2-1, full stop.
Traffic 2-1, aircraft calling final, say again please.
Alpha Charlie, final 2-1, full stop.
I think Kilo Charlie's holding short about 2-1. Kilo Charlie, we cross above 2-1 behind the landing Cessna for the southeast apron, not complete. Hotel Victor Oscar Waterworks 800, check Manila.
Onward traffic, Micro Foxtrot is crossing, cross to 1 Juliet.
Hotel, my uniform, crossing 2 line. I'm on traffic, Charles Echo, climbing crosswind, vacating track here.
Clear front way. I stand by tracks. Copy.